Carlos J. Can you hear me? Am I audible to you? Carlos.
Audible.
Yeah, Rangana. Yeah, okay. Yeah, can you hear me? Am I audible to you? Carlos? Yeah. Before I come up with the practical sessions connecting with administration, SQL, DBA, database administration, let me make you few things clear first. Okay. And among them, the first and most important point that I would actually highlight here, and that point is the session at o'clock, which we started today, will be a few days. You will be merged. It will be merged. The batch which is currently going on at 9 p.m. That is our actual batch. 9 p.m. batch is actual batch. So whatever the topics for law will also be created till that point. After that, once you reach to the topic where they are at 9 o'clock, your batch will be merged with the 9 p.m. batch. So consider that 10 o'clock session, which we are right now going on, it is like for you, backup classes. These are all. You call them by what I said, backup classes. Yeah. Okay. Now, before I start explaining you about things related with administration, let me first give you brief idea. Let me know, Ranganath, are you aware of SQL Server? I mean,
yes, aware of that one. But actually, I worked in SQL support. Is a Oracle database SQL support. I work 3 years of experience.
okay.
Right now, I am restricted this one.
So you have knowledge of SQL, so then no problem. Okay. Right. Okay. So considering that, let me talk into SQL Server. Yeah. Yeah. I'll just give you some brief idea on SQL Server. So you can see what are the things that important. Discuss all the concepts of SQL Server, because just a area where we discuss all the fundamental concepts what SQL Server. Just it is to an assumption that we are discussing this SQL Server introduction part to give you an idea, what is SQL Server is all about. Okay. Then after completion of the introduction, then I'll show you second topic that will be roles based administrator. Okay, after I discuss about SQL Server environment. Yes, 3 topics. Yeah. Now, in this introduction to SQL Server, as already we are not going to learn everything of SQL Server. So what do you call now? We call Server is a product of Microsoft produced in the year 1989 as SQL Server 1.0 version. Yes, this is one point. Yeah. And second thing, I say with the SQL Server, what you do means what you're going to do with SQL Server. Two things. We can create and manage databases. And second, support BI features that is called business intelligence. Yeah, that includes these all SSIS, SSRS, SSAS. Yeah, Ranganath, if something you feel is confusing you, then and there you can unmute yourself and can put forward queries. Okay,
Okay, sir. Okay.
Ranganath.
I don't know this
Yeah,
one
any
SSI.
queries, any questions? I'm just saying you what are the things that you are going to do with SQL Server. However, this is nowhere connected to our course content.
Okay, sure, sir.
That
Sure.
is
I understand.
required for those people who are going to work as BI developers, work
Okay.
intelligence. For them, they should know this is not our area of working.
Okay.
Okay, right. And second thing, I would say every RDBMS is a collection of two parts. But you understand this sentence first. I'm not focused on SQL Server. I rather said that every RDBMS, it means SQL Server is RDBMS. Oracle is RDBMS. MySQL is RDBMS. Sybase is RDBMS. Teradata is RDBMS. Many softwares are there which are a RDBMS. Comfortable? Now, in these, we made two divisions. What are they? One is non-procedural, that is SQL. And second is procedural, that is T-SQL. Yeah, structured query language. Here, transact SQL. This deals with programming, coding. Yeah, T-SQL they call. And same thing, they SQL in SQL Server, T-SQL, and in Oracle they call, sorry, in Oracle they call PL SQL, in SQL Server they call T-SQL. And now SQL Server supports SQL language, obviously, because as I just now said, SQL Server is RDBMS. So obviously, because it is RDBMS, and I said RDBMS contains two parts, so obviously SQL is supported by SQL Server. And another interesting thing is SQL is actually a language which is developed by IBM. SQL is IBM product. IBM has developed this language called SQL. Later, Microsoft, Oracle Corporation, and Sun Microsystems, Sybase International, Teradata Company, these all companies have purchased rights from IBM. They purchased rights from IBM, so that IBM's developed SQL language they can use in their developed RDBMS products or in their developed database products. So now with this, we come to a conclusion that SQL is called common database language since it can understand, or since it gets understand by every RDBMS. If you ask me, this is what my experience says. If you learn SQL thoroughly, in one database software, which means you are done with SQL in all database softwares. One you complete, rest all it's done. Yeah. That is the reason companies will not ask you like this. Do you know SQL language in Oracle? Do you know SQL language in what do you call Sybase? No, they won't talk about software. They just say that, are you aware of SQL language? Your answer is yes. Doesn't matter which database you have learned it, in which database you are trained on it. That becomes immaterial. That is the reason it's called what? Common database language. And another interesting thing is SQL is called non-procedural language. This is most frequently one of the queries that you can say, that why SQL is called non-procedural and why T-SQL is called procedural. Why? What is the reason? Why are these terms used for SQL and T-SQL? So, in general, I'm writing. I won't explain because those things I actually discuss in my development classes, not in administration classes. Yeah. SQL Server development is one separate course. Here we discuss a very detailed process on the concept of SQL. There I directly will not start. There are lot of other things that you should know. If someone who joins SQL Server development, there the process of discussion is different, because this is be considered to be an administration part, then things are little different. And simple conclusion, just for your knowledge, for your reference, I'm saying SQL is called non-procedural language because it deals with something. I'll just write the word what. And here it deals with two questions, what and how. But how do you differentiate? I said very clearly, not needed. But explanation, when you go with SQL, when you have knowledge on SQL, when you have knowledge on SQL and PLSQL or T-SQL in any database, automatically we will be in a position to differentiate. We will be in a position to understand why is it called non-procedural and why is it called procedural. These are the terms that will describe, these are the terms that will explain the reason of calling non-procedural and procedural. And finally, I would even say that SQL is case insensitive language. But remember this part, sufficient, more than enough to begin with SQL database administration. What is called SQL? SQL is case insensitive language. Yeah. Now, in general, SQL will contain five sub-languages in it. SQL will contain. One is called DQL. One is called DML. One is called TCL. One is called DDL. And finally, the fifth is called DCL. Data query language, data manipulation language, transaction control language, data definition language, and data control language. Yeah, I'll remove immediately. Not needed for us in administration, just for to have an idea. SQL, I'll remove and say, just writing for instant reference, consists of following five sub-languages. One is called DQLDRL. Yeah. Data query or retrieval language. Second, DML is what you call data manipulation language. Then we have TCL, transaction control language. Then we have DDL, that is called data definition language. And finally, DCL, that is data control language. Yeah. But we are not here. We are not in a batch where I discuss all these things. This is only for your instant reference to give you an idea what SQL consists of. I made a list of it. But this all things in detail with syntaxes, with logical stuff, lot of things to implement. We study them in my development classes. Yeah, especially this part I'm talking about, this part. Yeah, right. Now remember, keeping all these things in view, let me give some idea on administrator responsibilities. Means as a DBA, what are your roles in the job? What are your roles? Roles in the job. Yes. First responsibility, I would say, installation and configuration of SQL Server. Remember one thing quite very clearly. Remember one thing very clearly. Developer will not have any idea about installation because we are administrators. So we should have in-depth knowledge of all these. Developer will be good in writing queries, good in writing programs, but he's not aware of anything that happens at server level because installation and configuration you don't do on developer's machine. Rather, you do this on server machine. Server is in your control, not in the control of developer. So you should know installation and configuration of SQL Server. And remember, when I talk about installation, obviously there are various ways to install SQL Server software. Definitely, coming classes mein, we will experience all those types of installation of SQL Server. Yeah, I'll just give the names of those installations. When it comes to practical, at that time we'll discuss. One type of installation is called attended installation. One more type is what you call unattended installation. And one more we have that is called silent installation. And, and, and do you feel that SQL Server alone DBA is going to work on it? No, 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 no. DBA will maintain it. Working is different, maintaining is different. DBA maintains the server. DBA will maintain the server. Then who uses it? Front-end developers will use. SQL Server developer will use the server, right? .NET developer will use that server. You want me to give a picture of it? Yeah, I'll give you just so that you can understand what is the process we have. Say, for example, this is server. Okay. This is your server machine. Yeah. And in this server machine, yeah, you have second part, I would say here. You have installed SQL Server software. You have installed SQL Server software. And in that, you have one database. Yeah, that's just give an idea. Yeah, let me call machine SQL Server software one database. Yeah. Yes. Machine. SQL Server software. Then database. Yeah. Now who is maintaining? Here. DBA. DBA controls this server. Yeah. Your job, I'm saying, your job. Controls, monitors, right? Controls, monitors, what server? Maintain. DBS responsibility. Then who will work on it? Now I'll give a list here. Here I'll give a list. This is one team that may have many people working. Team, I'm saying team. Okay. Yeah. This is one more team. This is one more team. This is one more team. Yeah. Yeah. These are all teams who are going to utilize SQL Server for their requirements to complete related to the project. Yeah. DBA, one DBA. DBA will also have a team. DBA also will have a team. And the team's job is to maintain, control, monitor server, database, machine, server machine. Then who are this team? Yeah, one category. SQL server developers. Yeah, one category of people who are working that may have like many people working as SQL server developers. Yeah. Yes. And second, I'll say second I'm talking. BI developers, people who are working on business intelligence. Yeah, they also need database. Yeah. And people working on .NET developers. Yeah, programming related. .NET developers. And one more team working as Java developers. Yeah, one more team. Java developers. Plus one more team here. One more team I'll put here. Yeah. Who are they? These are Python developers. People working on Python language. They also require database. Python developers, sorry. Yeah, people working on Python language. Python developers. Yes. Yeah. And what will happen? Yeah. What will happen? Yeah. They all are going to work on these servers. Yes. I didn't say that all are going to work on one database. All are going to work on one database. No, they may work on everyone is provided by database. Yes. Yes. Then who will install? When these people come to database, when these people wants database, who will install? It is your job. Your job. Install, make it ready. And then give them. Say that this is the installed part. You are going to utilize it. I am not saying that you install SQL Server software one time. No, that part is to be discussed. You install for every team one. You can install separate SQL Server software. For SQL Server developers, you install one SQL Server software. For BI developers, one more time you install SQL Server software. Don't mix them. Don't mix them. Don't give two people to work on one software. No, no, not recommended. That may create a lot of problems in real time. That is the reason every team you put one dedicated installed software. Dedicated. For SQL Server developers, one dedicated. For BA developers, one dedicated. For .NET developers, one dedicated. For Java developers, one dedicated. For Python developers, one dedicated. Who will install those many times? DBA's job is that. How you install is not immaterial. They want those are people working in a company. BI developers, I'm not saying 1% developers that may have that if your company has come up with BI development 3-4 projects, it means you'll have around 20-30 people working on that. SQL Server developers, you may have again 15-20 people working on it. .NET developers, you may have 70-80 people working on it. Then what is recommended? Don't give them one software. Install 5 times you install. What is wrong? Same software, SQL Server software, you install 5 times. Don't give one software for all 5. That may put problems. This is to be discussed actually in my coming classes. Yeah. See the work area, you see work area. Where is DBA working? Where are developers working? Developers, front end. DBA, back end. Obviously, this will happen. This is what you're going to come up with experience. This, say, for example, a person working as Python developer, right? You said him that this is your SQL Server software. Use this. There is one database available in that software. You utilize this database and do your requirement. Yes, you gave that Python developers information. But despite after saying they are unable to connect, they are unable to work on it. They are facing some issues. What issues? Many connectivity issue, performance issue, security issue. Then to whom they will contact? Obviously, they will contact DBA. And database administrator responds and says that is the job of DBA. Yeah, that is what I was saying. Installation and configuration of SQL Server. And whenever you want to install SQL Server software for any team, for any development team, they will ask your suggestion. They will say, we are using this SQL Server software for a project related to one insurance company. What would you suggest? Will SQL Server be good? If SQL Server is good, which version of SQL Server will be good for our project? They will ask you. You cannot say them that you use this because I have installed this in the machine. No, because that is the reason you should be very clear on versions of SQL Server. You should know. So not sufficient with version. You should be even aware of editions of SQL Server. Which edition of SQL Server will be suitable? Then you should be even knowing what are the pre-installation steps. Means before installation, what all you have to do. Then you should know all the installation process. And after installation, you should know even post-installation steps. It's not about, just clicking, just somewhere you download it. you click, 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 and you're done with the installation. That is not the job of installation. Installation needs a process for SQL Server. There are a lot of things that you're supposed to do before installation starts. And even there are a lot of things you're supposed to do after the installation, both levels, pre-installation, post-installation. I don't know whether you're aware of this fact or not. I don't know whether you're aware of this fact or not. You know, when you install Windows operating system, you can see a difference when a professional installs Windows operating system and when an unprofessional installs Windows operating system. Lot of things to be considered when Windows installation is going on. People feel that, just it start installation, it will ask you click next, then click something, click yes, click no, and you're done with installation. That is not, that will be managed by those persons who are unprofessionals. If you are a professional, then you have a very clear knowledge on every point that is needed for installation. Then as a DBA, you require to have all three level of configuration. Server level configuration, you should know. Database level configuration also you should know. And you should also know connection level configuration. Yes. Server level, database level, connection level. What are that will be covered in it? That is different. Will not talk on that now. Now we don't talk. Just I'm saying, this is one module as a administrator that should be aware of. Then we will discuss from second. Yeah, you're following me. You could understand what I'm saying. Sanjana.
Yes, sir. Understanding, sir. Understanding.
Following, you're following me what I'm saying, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Now, after that, we will begin full-fledged practicals from this module. Working server databases. This module, you should know a lot. In regular batch at 9 p.m. 9 p.m. I said now after a few days you will be merged with 9 p.m. I just now said that. Yeah, considering that, right now I'm going them this databases. These are the things I covered for them. Architecture of databases. This is physical level. This is I started for them today. These things as a DBA you should know. That is internal working of database. As DBA you should know, not know all those stuff. And you learn here types of databases, then storage architectures, then transaction processing, then creating and maintaining what user databases. Yes. Hardly looks like 4 topics, right? Looks like 4 topics. But that 4 topics will eat away easily 2.5 weeks or 3 weeks. Easily. 2 weeks just like that will spend 2 weeks. Almost 15 days I talk only about SQL Server databases. Then we will go with security in SQL Server. Yeah. Here in security, you should know about logins. You should know about users. You should know about roles. You should know about permissions, how to give, how to cancel both. Then you should know about how to deal and work with schemas. Then you should know about how do you check auditing transactions. Then you want to have idea on encryption and decryption, how to provide security for protecting data. Then we learn TDE, that's called transparent data encryption. Then we have something to study about policy-based management, so on. We have a lot of things, just giving an idea. Security. We are also involved in the activities of security. Yeah, if you have, many DBAs working and you are senior most DBA, then you find you will be expertise in all the environments of this. You'll be very much having experience on every environment of database. If you have just joined into a job as a DBA for the very first time, then company will not give you complete responsibility of administration. They say that, Ranganath, you work only for security part. Yeah. So your
Yes, sir.
job will be to deal only security part. 6 months over, 1 year over, you're talking only about security. Any issues of security, they'll contact you. Then once you carry experience, then they say, now, well, you got one more junior to you, he'll take off security. You move to next concept. You take another maintenance job of administration. Then you may be placed to take up. Yeah, different responsibility. Now it's not about security. Here you talk about backup, recovery, and restore. Then migration of database and server. Whose backup, right? On which date, where you placed, in which server you placed. You will have knowledge. You maintain systematically. You maintain one sheet, Excel sheet, saying that this insurance department, insurance project related data is in server 2. You have to maintain, because today you are there in the team, tomorrow you leave your job, then who knows where you place, what you place, why you place, who knows all that. You are there today, tomorrow there is no guarantee for your job. Today you are there, you may get some good opportunity, you leave the job. Then in place of you, if I'm appointed as DBA, then I should know now what are the things you have done in the company, what are the things you have done on the server. That is the reason company will make you everything what you are doing on the server. So that today you are there, tomorrow you are not there. In place of you, if I come, I'll go through the document and understand. Do you understand what I'm saying, right? Disaster recovery planning. Will it be only part? No, 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 no. You're also involved in other activities, other activities. Like what? Like best example, let's say something related with automation. Yeah, yeah. What do you do? Microsoft provides one special tool here. Yeah, they call SQL Server agent. What do you do here? Yeah, you learn about job, about steps. You learn about scheduling. You learn about alerts. You learn about operators. A lot of other things are there. Oh, big list is there. Automation tasks. Then we talk about high availability. High availability. But this is quite very much, this is ever learning topic. It is a lot of issues arises in this. Microsoft has divided this into 5 parts actually. 5 parts. An interview, whatever, what lot of questions they may ask, like, did you come across this situation? Did you come across this situation? Even I'm going to take up this topic almost for around 2 weeks, discussing all the situations that you come across in your real time. What it is? Replication, database mirroring, log shipping, always on, clustering. Those are called high availability features. Then one of the most important part that will play a major role for administration, that is performance monitoring, tuning, and troubleshooting. Yeah. What it deals with? Troubleshooting errors, identify performance issues, applying tuning techniques. These things are there under performance monitoring, tuning, and troubleshooting. Yeah, when that topic comes, when that module comes, at that time we'll see what things we are going to discuss in it. That will be covering around 50 to 20 topics in it, 15 to 20 topics. Detail I'll explain whenever we go to that. That's it. Yeah, so we'll stop this.